If you want to, or if you can, make sure to go and support me on my Ko-Fi page, TikTok, and on my itch.io page. Links are all in the description below. So after the fall of the Warsaw Pact and the Soviet Union, there was a short period of time where America and their allies were basically the masters of the world. They intervened in wars all over the world, and they were essentially the masters of the world. The world basically became a playground for these nations, where they could intervene in these wars for their own interest. But what if this period continued? What if this period of NATO and EU domination worldwide continued? Well, it's not that far-fetched to imagine this, as after the fall of the Soviet Union, Russia and all of the ex-Soviet states were in an extremely weak and fragile state. So it's not impossible or insane to believe in the fact that these states would simply fall into obscurity. I mean, Russia already almost fell apart into several states after it gained independence due to huge instability and due to huge demand from other nations and other people wanting to secede from the nation. This all means that Russia could very easily fall apart right after the collapse of the Soviet Union and become just one of those big powers that, in the grand scheme of things, isn't really that relevant. Now, how this happens, I will not be going into detail. That's for a completely different video in its own. But long story short, the Warsaw Pact is integrated into NATO and the EU, Russia falls apart, China is isolated, and the ex-Soviet states are also very weakened as well due to all of these things happening. And now what happens? Well, with an isolated China because of the fall of the Soviets and the weakening of the ex-Soviet and communist states, they were practically isolated to just a few weak allies, while America and their allies gallivanted and intervened all across the world, in Yugoslavia, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Syria, and in so many other nations as well. We'd see America and their allies concentrate their full forces on these interventions, and we'd see a much higher success rate. Yugoslavia was already successful and would be successful. Iraq would be also successful as well. Syria, while in our own history was not that successful, in this timeline would be very successful with all the different rebels and instabilities and whatnot being overrun within a few years. Afghanistan would be quite a lot harder, but within a few years to a decade, I believe that they would also be overrun as well, due to America and the allies not really having any other enemies to focus on besides China, which was literally focusing on itself at that time, so it didn't really want anything to have with any other nation since it would be rebuilding itself and its relations with other nations, meaning that America and their allies would be much more dominant. But that's where I'm gonna end up this scenario, seeing as I don't really know what to say or how to expand on this scenario further on. I hope you enjoyed this scenario. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, or comment down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.